Hello everybody. I have a few articles here that I thought that you would find interesting. It helps confirm what we're doing by acquiring real money for thousands of years to protect us from a Federal Reserve note that's going to at some point lose its reserve currency status. Unfortunately, most people have no idea that this is happening, that they even need to be worrying about it, because it doesn't have anything to do with pro sports or Orange is the New Black or Dancing with the Stars, American Idol. Oh man, I'm sorry. I can't stop talking about that. It's just really getting to me lately. Just people that are just talking about their sitcoms and this acting and how this actors and acting is just more important than what's really happening. They're just so lost. They're just so blinded to what's going on. And man, they're going to be smacked across the head at some point when all the dollars that we've been exporting our inflation around the world, it comes back to our shores. It's just going to smack them in the face. They're going to have no way of protecting themselves like we are by having something that should maintain its wealth like it has for thousands of years. So anyhow, let's get on to the articles here. I'm sorry for continuing to mention those shows, but I just, oh man, just really getting to me lately. So the BRICS is morphing into an anti-dollar alliance. Well, I don't know who wrote this article. It's the voice of Russia, but they've been an anti-dollar alliance for several years now. But anyhow, whether they're morphing into one or they are one, doesn't matter. The world's moving away from the Federal Reserve note, and people need to wake up and start protecting themselves. Before the crucial visit to Beijing next week, the governor of the Russian Central Bank, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, met Vladimir Putin to report on the progress of the upcoming ruble-yuan swap deal with the People's Bank of China, and Kremlin used the meeting to let the world know about the technical details of its international anti-dollar alliance. On June 10th, Putin's economy advisor published an article outlining the need to establish an international alliance of countries willing to get rid of the dollar in international trade. That's key to this article. Get rid of the dollar in international trade. The dollar is the world's reserve currency. You get rid of it, they're all going to be coming home. And the inflation here, you know, the inflation is already cooked in, with the monetary base being driven from 800 billion up to 4 trillion. But a lot of the paper dollars, $100 bills, I forget what percentage of them, a large percentage of them are overseas. If those countries don't need to hold dollars in order to make international trades any longer, all that money's coming home to these U.S. shores. And people are going to be losing 25% of their wealth overnight. I mean, it's just going to hit the Americans at some point. I don't know when, but it's coming. I mean, you just look at these articles. This stuff's coming out so fast now. I'm trying to bring it to you. I like this new format because I know a lot of you won't find these. You're not looking for these, but I am. And there's just so many articles. Just really been getting upset lately at people that only care about, you know, their favorite actors and how the acting is going to go in this particular show and all, whatever. Start paying attention to the real world. Damn it. All right. So the ultimate goal would be to break Washington's money printing machine that is feeding its military industrial complex and giving the U.S. ample possibilities to spread chaos across the globe, fueling civil wars in Libya, Iraq, Syria, and Ukraine. You know, a lot of this has to do with maintaining the petrodollar, but at some point that's all going to break down. The critics believe that such an alliance would be difficult to establish, and that creating a non-dollar-based global financial system would be extremely challenging from a technical point of view. However, in her discussion with Vladimir Putin, the head of the Russian Central Bank unveiled the elegant technical solution for this problem and left a clear hint regarding the members of the anti-dollar alliance that's being created by the efforts of Moscow and Beijing. So I wanted to bring you this article. I also wanted to talk about this real quick. The BRICS are going to have their 6th annual summit on July 14th and 16th in Brazil. And what I'm looking towards hearing about is their new development bank. They're creating, the BRICS nations plan to have a $100 billion development bank ready by 2015. Could actually even be ready by the end of 2014. And funds will be reserved for emerging market members who are often bypassed by institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. So they're going to compete with the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the US dollar is not going to be part of this. But not only that, China plans investment bank to break the World Bank dominance. So China's involved in the BRICS Bank, the development bank. But not only that, China's moving forward with a plan to create its own version of the World Bank, which will rival institutions that are under the sway of the U.S. and the West. The bank will start with $100 billion in capital. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB, will extend China's financial reach, like they're not reaching far enough already, and compete not only with the World Bank, but also the Asian Development Bank, which is heavily dominated by Japan. So there's just so much information coming out lately, and I'm just going to continue to bring you these articles. Hopefully I can bring you more stuff like this. Not to say that I'm not going to do some of the other stuff that I do. Whenever Lindsay comes out with his information, I'm going to do something on that. I keep getting lots of negative feedback on him. I mean, he had some really good calls on oil. His timing's been off on a lot of the other stuff he talks about. I still think a lot of the other things he talked about are going to happen at some point, but his timing is horrible. But people like to hear it. I get so many views on my Lindsay Williams videos. It's unbelievable. I got 100,000 views on one video. Whether people hate him or whatever, they like to listen to it, and I enjoy making them, putting in the dramatic music, and I just have fun putting them together. So, you know, you don't have to think, oh man, this guy believes in Lindsay Williams and blah, blah, blah. I mean, like I just said, I believe his timing is way off. I believe a lot of things he talks about are going to happen at some point. You know, and that's just the way it is. I'm going to continue to make videos, probably going to be tapering them off here pretty soon, but I enjoy making those types of videos, and I'm going to continue to make them, but I'm going to start concentrating on more of, you know, this information, because this is what's really important. So that's it for now, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon.